This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
This is Creepy Soup on the PFC Entertainment Network.
Shut up. Hello. Hello. Welcome to episode 151, I believe.
I know.
Right. And I should check before I hit the record button.
But we don't.
But I don't. But I believe it's episode 151 of Creepy Soup Podcast, brought to you by the PFC Entertainment Network, which has a new line of merch coming out. It will be out live and open on August 15th. And I think at some point, anyway, and that will, oh shit, I don't know what the link for that is. But there is still pfcstore.printify.me. There is, what are you looking at?
Is there a light in there?
I don't know. I saw it the other day when I was recording with Jason and with Kelly. I don't fucking know. I don't know. So anyway, pfcstore.printify.me. If you want our merch, it is pfccreepysoup.printify.me. And I will get you the other one as soon as I have it. He may have told me what it is. I don't remember. But I know there's football jerseys, hopefully better quality than the baseball jerseys, because those were no bueno. But that link will be posted.
Follows me wherever I go. Go check. Go.
Judy, I was seeing it twice, so there might be something in there with a light on it. I don't know. It's blue, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's the same thing I saw. Okay. Look, I don't have time when I'm done doing shit. I gotta go work.
Okay.
It
creeped me out.
Alright, we'll just ignore it.
Okay, let's get the fat kid bring a cupcake. Good job.
Well, hey. That's on you. So, how are you?
I'm okay.
Okay. Oh, we do have another announcement. There has been a slight change made to the paranormal investigation on August 23rd. There is now going to be one session from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And there will be vendors there. And we will be doing a live podcast from there.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that was going to be happening anyway. The difference is, the vendors are there one session, and the session is ticket prices were brought down to $50 each. So show up. It's going to be fun. Okay, so that one's out of the way. How are you?
You just asked
I
me.
know, but I interrupted.
No, you didn't. I said I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
How are you?
I'm fucking tired. So,
at least it's not me no more.
So if you are a follower of the page, and I'm sorry for how I look. I gotta work today. I don't wear makeup to work. So.
I just woke up and rolled out of bed like this.
Anyway, the one thing that helps is the yellow tint to the camera, which I cannot figure out how to change that. I can't do it. I cannot figure that out. But it kind of works in my favor a little bit. So if you are a follower, where's it hard? If you are a follower of the Creepy Soup Facebook page, you will know that there was not an episode. Stop it.
What?
Touching my feet, and I hate my feet touched. And I don't like feet, so get your feet off me. I'm going to start saying words you don't like. Stop feeling me up, perv.
Yeah, you knew it was next. Oops.
You didn't yell surprise, so... Okay, so... There was not an episode, actually, the last 2 Sundays because of I was on vacation. Which is kind of what our episode is going to be about today. Hold that.
Only because it pertains to history and actually what the podcast is about.
Yes,
so
there's some paranormal.
exciting.
And before I get into that, I want to thank you for holding the fort down while I was gone. And I came home, my house smelled amazing. Not that it normally stinks. Besides the fact, there's kids and they play outside and they come in and they smell like wet dog, sweaty wet dog.
They smell like outside.
Yeah. That is, even as a kid, I hated that smell. I hate that smell.
So I never really went outside. I'd only go outside to go to a friend's house, not to play.
Yeah. But these kids, thankfully, are outside all day, so they're not in front of a game or in front of a screen.
I'd prefer that, because the friends that Jackson hangs out with, I'd rather him not.
Questionable at best.
Dude, the one kid's always stealing shit.
Well, birds of a feather.
Yeah, it got worse after you started hanging around him.
But my house came home and it smelled like you could tell it had just been mopped and it just smelled so good. So it was very nice to come home to that.
I made sure it was watermelon. She loves watermelon.
I love the smell of it, and I can't stop fucking eating it. That gallon pitcher,
Uh-huh.
I have at least 3 of those a week filled with watermelon, at least. But it's good for you. It's got magnesium, so
So juicy.
it's so good. The colder, the better.
Yes.
Mm.
We should make watermelon smoothies.
That's a possibility. Okay, so on my vacation, because it was mine and my husband's, her daddy, and my 30th
Why do you gotta
anniversary.
tell people that?
He's your dad.
Why do you gotta tell people that though?
I didn't mention who your grandmother is.
Oh, don't do that.
Okay.
Unless you talk about the other one. Then it's fine.
It was on the 8th was our 30th anniversary. So we were going to have a party and we were having some issues with the guest list. And
One being the mother.
and so we were like, you know what, let's just do something for us. So we decided to take a vacation to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, not Tennessee. Everybody asked me, were you in Tennessee? No, it's in Pennsylvania. But I get it, because there's Gatlinburg and a lot of people do, and I get it, where you kind of mix those up. So, and I don't, honestly, before I started researching going there, I don't even know what state I thought Gettysburg was in. I'm not gonna fucking lie. If you've never been there, but it's something you might want to do, I highly recommend it. It is...
Just don't people. Just don't people there.
Well, I don't want to talk about the people there. They're a different species. I'm gonna say that they are a different, and maybe they were just the tourists from the area that were in the area. Maybe it wasn't the actual people, but the people that we dealt with down there were not always. Now, I will say when we went into stores and things like that, customer service in any of the stores. We even went into a Five Below, and
They have Five Below. Is it
Right.
Five Below?
It's Five Below, right next to a Dollar Tree.
Is it Five Below though?
No, it's just like the rest of them where they have like the more expensive shit. But it's
Because even shit at Five Below ain't no $5 anymore.
yeah. I mean, you got that lip gloss that you were just questioning me about. That was $1. Yeah. But yeah, even the Five Below down there, the customer service was great. Any of the restaurants we went and ate, top notch. And it didn't matter. The first night we were there, we went to this little diner, and I'm not gonna like our bill at the diner was $26. Our waitress was so phenomenal. We left her a $20 tip. Like, she was amazing. And we did a lot of the Civil War. They have like an auto tour where you can drive through and like they have the monuments in there, and like just getting down there, like being on the same path of the battlefield that the soldiers, Confederate and Union soldiers were on, and it's just you can feel it when you're on
Oh, I can imagine.
this. And like a lot of it you can drive, and they got spots you can pull over and park so you can get out and take pictures of the monuments. And oh my god, we have so many. I have not, I will tell you, I'm going to be sharing a few on here today, plus a video. I have not went through all of them. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I could hand you my phone and tell you where the Gettysburg picture started to where they stopped. And there's probably... I'm going to say there's no lot... I'm thinking closer to 1,000, but there's probably about 500, at least. At least. So I have not had time to go through all of them. That is something I did plan on doing over the weekend. So as I find anything, because they tell you to take 3, boom, 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 and then look at them and see if there's a difference from this one to this one. Is there this figure here? Was it there? So as I go through those and I do find anything, evidence, like, I will be posting those to the Creepy Soup page, and possibly making a video of the pictures to upload to YouTube.
I just thought about it. We should think about considering doing a website.
Maybe. That I've thought of that. I have thought of that. But so one of the things, and I'm so pissed I did not get this on recording. Dad and I have been walking, like because they do have some walking trails that you can go on also. So we're walking, we're looking at this monument, and this lady was like propping up her phone and posing, and I'm like, would you like me to take your picture? Maybe it'd be easier, whatever. And then we started talking, and she was talking about how she had did one of the paranormal tours the night before, and I was supposed to go on it, but I actually was not feeling well. So we missed it, and that was the orphanage. But we did, on one of the other tours, they did talk a lot about the orphanage, which I will talk a little bit about that during this. And this might be some squirrel shit, because I don't remember the exact order we did everything.
Oh, please don't squirrel shit, Mom.
Well, you know me.
Please don't.
I got some adult ADHD, and coffee helps.
Put it down.
I need it, though. I need it. I need it to people. So one of the first things we did, and I do have... I gotta pull it up, because I didn't do that yet. Why would I do that?
Because that would mean you wipe after you poop instead of wiping before.
Right, yeah, you would think. So one of the first things we did was we had went to the Jenny Wade house.
Oh, Mom, you look so pretty in that picture.
Oh, thanks. So one of the first things we did As far as like one of the things that we had booked was to go to the Jenny Wade house. And if you've never been to the Jenny Wade house and you do eventually go there, I highly recommend it. The lady that did our tour, her name is Amy, and I didn't know who she was as we were passing her.
Was it Amy Allen?
No, it was not Amy Allen. But, and again, I didn't know who she was. I just know we had to go to this one building and everyone met up there, and then we were going to walk over to the Jenny Wade house. But I passed her and I said, I'm not weird. I mean, I'm weird. We know I'm weird. I said, but you are so pretty. I had no idea who she was, and then she ended up being her tour guide. It was fucking strange. But she was just so fucking pretty. Like, she was very pretty, and I had to tell her I thought she was pretty. And she's like, oh no, there's acne, and I'm like, no. So anyway, we meet up, we go over there, and, you know, we're walking around outside, and she's showing it, like, the door where the bullet went through, because obviously Jenny Wade is the only civilian that died during the 3-day battle. There was others after, but she was the only one that died during the battle. And quick little story behind Jenny Wade. The house that she died in was on Baltimore Avenue. I think it's Baltimore Avenue.
Are you sure?
I know it's Baltimore. That I know. I know it's Baltimore.
A Baltimore.
I don't know if it's street, avenue, whatever. It's Baltimore. If you know, you know. She actually did not live. She did not live there. Which, honestly, I didn't know she didn't live there.
Yep, they call it the Jenny Wade.
Mm-hmm. She actually lived a few streets over on Breckenridge. So she was there because her older sister, Georgia, and I believe there's 2 years between them. At the time, Jenny was 20 and Georgia was 22. Georgia had just given birth 5 or 6 days before that. And back then, giving birth was a crapshoot. Because they didn't have the medical technology of today. Like, you either bled, you hemorrhaged, and you died, or you hemorrhaged, and you were just bedridden for sometimes months. And that was the case with her sister, Georgia. Georgia had a baby, was having a lot of issues, very weak, couldn't take care of herself. And because the battle had begun 2 days prior to Jenny eventually dying, she thought it would be safer to go to her sister's and help out. And plus, Jenny would also make bread and biscuits and rolls and give water to the Union soldiers. And on this particular morning, this is kind of what happened. She would sit down every morning and read passages from the Bible, what do you call that? Like inspirational type things. And she had been reading that. And it's a very small, very fucking small house. Like the downstairs, there's not a lot to it. It's the bedroom. There was a bedroom upstairs, but obviously the sister is not going to be able to go upstairs. So the sister and the baby are in the bedroom, which is right off the kitchen, which the first picture I'm going to show you, I'm actually standing in the kitchen, and you can see where Jenny was standing and where she fell. The bullet that came, they're 100% certain it came from the Farnsworth house down the street and went through the wooden door, which is still there, it's still the same door, and the thick wooden kitchen door that is still there. So what had happened was she had been reading these hymns, or whatever it was, and the sister said, "Will you please shut up?" So Jenny puts the book down and she gets to work baking the bread, biscuits, whatever it was she was making.
Oh, so she was reading aloud?
Yes, she was reading it aloud, and it was Jenny her mother Mary and her sister Georgia and the baby were in the bedroom. So Jenny gets up from the little chair she was sitting at in the corner and walks over to the spot, which let me...
If she only would have waited 15 more seconds.
Yes.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. I think this is the one I want. Yes, this is the one I want.
That's weird.
So, right here is obviously where I'm standing. This is where Jenny was standing. Well, I don't know if you can see this little chair over here. That's where she had been sitting, reading whatever it was she was reading. Georgia was right on the other side of this door, laying in bed, and yelled, "Will you please just shut up?" So she gets up, bakes the bread. She's standing here. The mother says, "To protect you better, I'm going to open the door." So the door was actually out farther than what it is right now. And as you can see right here, this little spot right here, that is a big-ass bullet hole.
Yeah.
It went through the door and entered into Jenny, and she immediately dropped. And then Amy, the tour guide, points at me, and she said, "Exactly where you are standing." The mother went over, looked in, and because she was in shock, said, "Your sister's dead." Just that calmly. And this is the original little tray that she rolled the bread and the dough and the dough out for the bread, biscuits, whatever. So yeah. So this is not original floor, but she said sometimes when people take pictures, they still, the blood comes through where she was standing. Although everything else in there, except wallpaper, is original to the house. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't fucking know. So the story goes, and there was testimony to all of this, it is documented, that Georgia, as the sister, said that there's so many decisions that were made basically by her that she feels guilty, because if she would have let Jenny finish, she wouldn't have been standing there when that bullet came through, and then she wouldn't have died. If she hadn't had needed the help after having the baby, Jenny wouldn't have come over to help. And then there was something else too. I don't remember. And what's very kind of disappointing is we were not allowed to take any equipment on this. This was basically a guided tour. So what I'm going to show you next is we are going to talk about no, not that one. We are going to talk a little bit about the orphanage down the street, which you can stand in the front of the Jenny Wade house and look to your left and you can see the orphanage. And that was the tour we were supposed to go on but didn't. I'm seeing shit in there now too. The closet is very haunted. I don't care what anybody says. That closet is haunted. So it goes, of course, soldiers, as they died and made their wives widows and their children fatherless, that a lot of times, because mothers didn't really have a way to earn a living back then, so a lot of times these mothers had to make the hard decision to load their kids up onto a train to take them to one of the orphanages around the country. And one of them is on Baltimore.
Really, they didn't believe in stepdaddies back then.
Well, a lot of time, I mean, really, a lot of stepdad possibilities all died in the war. It wasn't just a 3-day battle, it was an ongoing war. So, when that orphanage first opened up, the lady that ran it above board. She would, the kids from the orphanage were able to go out and play with other kids that lived in town and she had him involved in community activities such as like the Remembrance Day parade and like anything where it was like a town-wide activity. She made sure these kids were involved, you know, and probably some free advertisement like, hey, this kid's very well behaved, why don't you, you know, already likes your kid, so maybe adopt. So she was well loved amongst the kids and the town because she was fucking awesome. Well, she gets married. Someone realizes she's a good woman, slaps a ring on it, and moves her away. Well, her replacement was not.
Which, in all honesty, I think that was selfish for her to just up and leave them, because that she was the only constant in their life. And then
yeah, but at the same time,
I don't care. I would have stayed.
I mean, I think staying, I don't think moving away, but again, not my life, not my place to judge.
Oh, I'm judging.
Well, you judge. So anyway, the lady that comes next is not so nice, and she is terrible to the kids. The kids are no longer to be a part of the town. They're no longer to play with the kids that they have made friends with. And the townspeople are concerned because they don't see the kids as much. And one of the little boys that was from the town, that was friends with the little boy that lived at the orphanage, he was like, I miss my friend. I'm gonna go hang. We're gonna go hang out. He knocks on the door. She opens the door. He asks for the kid. She says the kid is dead and slams the door in the kid's face. So this kid runs back and tells his parents. Parents are really concerned. So they send the police over there. Police don't do anything because it's actually a state-run, not a local-run orphanage. It is run by the state.
Shouldn't matter.
So some of these kids would occasionally escape when she was sleeping or wasn't looking or busy disciplining another child, which we'll get to momentarily.
Can you leave that out?
Well, it's kind of part of the story. I would like to leave it out because it is very sad and it's fucking awful. It's horrible. So one of the little boys, there was two, one they know the name of, one they don't know the name of. But the one little boy, and he is the one that people do catch on camera often, which I believe I did. His name is Billy, and he would run over and hang out with the people who, of course this is after Jenny Wade passes, but he would go over and hang out with the people that lived there. And I honestly don't know if it was the sister, and like the sister's husband finally came home from the war. I don't know if it was them or if they moved. I don't know. They don't really say who the owner is, but they hang out there, and you know there's been paranormal investigations and spirit box sessions where they talk about how you know this kid was at the orphanage. So this is the picture that, okay, now I gotta fucking magnify it. Woo! Hello. I actually have two of the same picture, but if you look, you can clearly see his face. And in one of the other pictures, I also have this kid's apparition. But I can't find the picture. So, let me make it, I mean, now you know it's there, so I'm gonna make it a little smaller where it's, like you can clearly see. It's right there. You can see the side part. You can see his eyes, nose, mouth. And people actually see his apparition because, of course, they tell you, do not sit on the bed, do not touch the bed, do not jump on the bed. And in one of the tours, Amy was telling us that some kid said, well, how come he gets to jump on the bed? And it was
Billy.
So Billy was an orphan who did live at the orphanage. Now, a sad yet happy ending to the orphanage story was one little boy ran away, and he ran. A couple from town finds him, they pick him up, they take him home. He's very gaunt, he's very malnourished, very pale. They take him back home, they feed him. As he gets stronger, he tells these people what is going on at this orphanage. And they're very concerned. So they call police and say, you better do something. So I don't know if these people had like some pull in town or what the deal was. But the police go there and they're like, you're in trouble. He tells them that there are shackles in the basement that when kids, according to this headmistress, whatever the fuck she was, would misbehave, they would get shackled. There was also another thing that she would do, like the old barrels. She would fill it with ice water and put the kids in it, like up to here, so like their nose and up was out of the water. And these were kids at like 4 years old, like very young children. Now she leaves the orphanage and is never heard from again.
Good.
There's no record of her dying. There's no record of her marrying. There's no record of her anything after she leaves the orphanage.
Well,
so
maybe somebody did her in. Make sure they didn't find her.
So there is, you're on the right track. So there is one theory that the townspeople were furious with what she did, and
After.
took care of her themselves. And some of the children that were, when the police went and investigated, that were unaccounted for, they later found them when they dug up the backyard. So, I don't remember her name because I don't feel she's important. So, so then, and I don't have pictures of this because we were not allowed to take pictures at all in this place. We went to the Museum of Haunted Objects, where that was a really cool place. It's really a room a little bit bigger than this room. They have all the lights off, and the guide goes through with the flashlight and flash. They give you a list of the items in the room. No description. They tell you to pick 10, and out of those 10, circle 5. And those are the ones you really, really want to see. So, and of course, you're not supposed to touch anything because these things all have attachments, and they don't want the attachments to attach to you, so on and so forth. We get to this one piece, and he says, now this is where I break my rule because this is kind of like a show and tell sort of thing. So it's this very, 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 very old board. And he tells you to... And every time I talk about it, I get the same feeling that happened. I don't know if it's just like probably in my head, but it's happening now. So you put your non-dominant hand on there for like 10, 15, 20 seconds. And then you step away. He tells you, like, take a few deep breaths. And then once there was Dad and I, and then another older couple that were on this tour. And Dad and the other lady felt nothing. The husband from the other couple said, like, my hand's kind of tingly. Well, my hand was, like, throbbing, like, and kind of hurt, but not real bad. But as he sat there talking, like, it was going up my arm and kind of stopped, like, up to here. You know how, like, when you're about to have blood drawn, they tie you, and then your arm, like, loses circulation. It's kind of got that hot, cold sensation.
Yeah.
That's how my whole arm felt up to here. That was their amputation board. That's where they would cut off limbs and just toss them out the window. Yeah, there was no safe way to dispose of them. And, like, it was like an assembly line. Cut, throw, cut, throw. Yeah. So that was interesting. And yeah, that was the Museum of Haunted Objects. Highly recommend it. Our tour guide was Dominic, and he was great. And he was getting concerned because that feeling in my arm didn't go away right away. Like, actually, I had it for about an hour after we left there. And he was like, we'll take you back because there's a little metaphysical shop in there. He's like, we'll get you some sage. We'll get you something to rub on there. I'm like, it's fine. It'll go away. It'll go away. I don't fear losing my arm. And I did. It eventually went away. But now every time I talk about it, I do. It's not as strong, but I do get that feeling in my arm. And then, what was the other picture I saw? Let me see. I don't fucking remember. No, I did want that. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Have you met you?
Yeah, right. I know. I've met me, and I'm crazy. I showed that one. Okay, we also went to Sachs Bridge, which when we were there, when we first got there, we were alone. And Sachs Bridge is known to be highly haunted. Both Confederate and Union soldiers used that bridge to cross. We did not make it there at night, which was a bummer for me. And when we first got there, like when the picture I'm about to show was taken, there was nobody else there. But shortly after, like, we walked on and got there, someone came in from the other side, and they got engaged. So I got to see that. But this is the Sachs Bridge. It's a very heavy feeling when you get there. And I don't remember if it was this picture or not, but there is one of the pictures I have where you can kind of see somebody, but I just sent some to my email. So I don't know if this is one of them. Again, I will be going through everything and posting them to the Creepy Soup page and hopefully making a video of some sort. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot about this. We did hear some noises on it before them other people arrived, but it was nothing that was like too crazy. And then I believe it was after leaving that bridge when we went and ran into the lady that was taking pictures of herself. And I was recording, like taking video on my phone because like the way that area felt.
Yeah.
So I was recording and I stopped, and like the only male in that area that we were at, and this was out like towards the battlefield, was Dad. Because it was me, the woman taking a picture, and her daughter. And you hear about, it sounded like maybe 5 to 8, 10 men doing a battle cry. Of course I had stopped. So I start recording again and got nothing. So that was, I'm like, that would have been...
That makes me so mad.
I was swearing. I know, that's hard to believe. I was pissed. I was like, of course I stopped recording. Yeah, I was mad, but it was very, like, all four of us, Dad, me, the woman, we just stood there and kind of looked at each other, like, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I'm not crazy, but did y'all hear that?
Like, all of us heard it, but there was nobody out there. Like, not a single soul. Like, the trail ended where we were standing. Like, so... if there's no trail, you're not supposed to be on it. I don't think. Maybe you can. I don't know. But there was nobody out there. Like, nobody out there. And it sounded like maybe it was coming from, like, maybe a city block away. It was close, but not, like, next to us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, that was cool. And now the other thing I kind of want to talk about is where we stayed. Which we stayed at the Cashtown Inn. And... that first came to my attention years ago. I'm going to say, because Dad and I have been talking for a long time about wanting to make this trip to Gettysburg, him for the Civil War, me for the paranormal. And he was telling me, his name is Sean, he was telling me, you have to stay at least one night at the Cashtown. And he went on to tell me, he said, I am not a believer, but I have never not stayed there and had something I could not explain. Okay, great. And one of the things if we're friends on Facebook, I posted a picture of my current view. Like, I was sitting there on the swing, and I took a picture, like, what was in front of me. And he even commented, he said, "You're on the swing." And I said, "Yes, I am." And then he responds to that comment with, "That is known to move with nobody sitting there." Now, I went out later. It was actually our last day there, and I was outside doing this. And it was raining, but there was no wind. So, like Dad said, you can see the trees and stuff moving because it was raining. Like, it was pouring rain. So, but there was no wind. So, I'm going to, hopefully, I've never shared video, so hopefully this works. I don't know. I don't know if this is, what am I doing? Okay, there we go. I don't know if this is going to work because I've never tried to share. What the fuck? Wait a minute. What's going on? Okay, we're gonna close out of this because what is going on? Are we still in? Okay, yeah. We're still in it.
You just exit off the thing, Mom. Mom!
Okay, so let me go back and... Fuck me. No, we are still in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. We are so sorry. I don't...
Who is we? You're the one controlling...
I know I'm the one controlling it, but I was not prepared for all of that.
So we'll just post the video later.
No, I want to try it.
Oh my Lanta.
Because this...
I don't think it's gonna...
No, okay. So I am gonna exit out of there. But it is a video where I am sitting in a chair.
The swing.
And I noticed the swing moving out of the corner of my eye. Now, I'm the only one... There are people, because the restaurant was open that night, that were leaving out of the door to my left. The swing was to my right. The swing was to my right. And that was that's literally at the edge of the porch. And I look over, and it's barely moving. Like, you really have to kind of look. And again, it's a heavy wooden, so even if there was a light breeze, it's not going to move it like that. But again, it was raining, and I did actually take 2 different videos of the swing moving, and I pan across so you can see that nobody else is sitting on there, so I'm not like yanking your chain, but you do see a slight movement to it. And I will tell you, she has not seen or heard any of the pictures, the files, nothing, because I wanted her to hear it as, you know, I'm telling it, so if she had any questions, everything was authentic and not...
She tried to, but I cut her off, and I was like, no, let's save it.
I mean, I did tell you one thing, but it had nothing to do with, really, I don't think anything we talked about.
No. Well, I told her I want to be surprised when you show everybody else, so let's hold off on that.
Yeah. So, she hasn't seen the video. Those pictures were first time seeing them. And like I said, as I go through, I will post more and upload more, either to the page or to YouTube. So, I think that's pretty much all we have today. Was this... Okay, I was going to say, was this on? Because I usually test it in the headphones, and I didn't today. So hopefully everything was heard.
Fingers crossed.
So I hope you enjoyed my little squirrely presentation of some of the things that happened in Gettysburg, paranormal wise, and be patient with me while I look through all the pictures I have, because there are so many. Now, some of them are, you know, I'm hoping, because like I've got pictures of your dad standing next to monuments, I'm kind of hoping like I got something there. And there is one I thought I had 2 figures in, but upon looking closer, I don't think it's two figures. I think it's...
I know the one that you did send me, you pointing at Dad. It looked like there was somebody over by the fence. So I had to zoom in, but I couldn't tell. It was too blurry.
Yeah, because I do have a picture where I'm, like, very high up. I'm very high up. And, like, I can look out and I could see where he was walking. So it's a picture, like, kind of a selfie of me. And I'm pointing,
and how
like,
small
behind
that
me.
is.
And you really have to zoom in on the picture to see him. And honestly, by the time you zoom in, he kind of does look like a ghost.
No, I mean, in the picture without zooming in, you can see who you're pointing at. It's just when I zoomed in to look at his ugly ass, it looked like over where those trees were, it looked like there was somebody, like, crouching down by the fence.
And it's very possible. And after we left that big-ass monument, now mind you, I'm afraid of heights. Dad's afraid of heights. But he's more deathly afraid of heights. And let's face it, them cricket sticks are not going to carry him up all the stairs. So I went on top of, like,
You're gonna hammer going down the stairs to get outside, huh?
I know. I was on the phone with Ben, video chatting with Ben, I don't remember. But I was on the phone with Ben while walking up the stairs. And it's so high up, like, all the cars, they look like the micro machines, which you probably don't remember because they're from the 80s. But they're, like, all the cars look very, very small. Because my thought was, I'm afraid of heights, but I'm afraid if I don't do it, I'm going to regret it.
Yeah.
And then where I'm on the top of the thing pointing at Dad on the ground, same thing. And look, my dumb ass did all this shit in flip-flops. I had tennis shoes with me. Did I wear them? No. Mm-mm.
Yep, nope. Not be me. I can't wear flip-flops for very long, so... Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't want to wear tennis shoes. I wear tennis shoes every day to work, so when I'm off work, I don't...
No. Tell everybody what you call them.
Feet prisons. The socks are feet prisons, and the shoes are the shoe. Get it from Orange is the New Black? You want to go to the shoe? Or was that Oz? I don't know. Solitary confinement. That's what shoes are.
I don't know, but I really want to get Mike to watch Oz.
I own the whole series on DVD. And no.
Damn.
So yeah, it was lovely. I wore tennis shoes on the flight there and the flight home, which the last one we had to do a lot of running, so I didn't have a choice but to have fucking tennis shoes on. Yeah.
Could not be me.
But I walked up all these stairs and, okay, so here's the one dumb thing. One of the things we did was we went to the top of Little Round Top, which is where forces, you know, like soldiers were lined up. We park at the bottom and we hike up. We get to almost the very top and realize there's a road that goes to the top. So we hiked it for no fucking reason. Yeah. But it's a memory we have, so I don't regret it.
Of stupidity.
I said memory. I didn't say it was a good one or a bad one or indifferent. But, yeah.
That's funny.
We climbed it. We didn't have to. I climbed it in flip-flops.
Bitch. No.
Yeah. So, that is what I have for now. Again, as I find them, I will post anything that has any type of paranormal in it. I will get the video posted. Actually, I'm going to post that to the Creepy Soup page. And I think that's it. Buy merch. Join us for a live podcast and a paranormal investigation.
Buy tickets.
It will be fun. So yeah. On that note, we will see you next time. Bye.